The Super Mario Bros. Movie, not to be confused with Super Mario Bros. The movie, had quite the turnaround when it was released in 2023. From the moment the cast was announced and when the first trailer came out, people thought this was going to be extra lame. But when it finally did come out, it was praised by audiences, it became the highest grossing video game adaptation of all time, and it gave Grace Randolph a mental breakdown.
When could Mario turn into a cat? I guess, like, if you're into furries?
The hype and discussion surrounding this movie was insane, but how does it hold up 3 years later? Well, just in time for the Mario Galaxy movie, I'm gonna take a proper look at this movie to answer that exact question. So hey guys, JamesMCD Reviews here, and welcome to another episode of the Cinematic Bucket List series. And today, we're gonna be taking a look at the Super Mario Bros. Movie, released by Illumination in 2023. The movie centers around brothers Mario and Luigi, played by Chris Pratt and Charlie Day respectively, two wannabe plumbers who are just trying to be accepted by their family and peers. On one of their jobs, the two get sucked into a warp pipe and transported to the magical world of the Mushroom Kingdom. So Mario teams up with Princess Peach, played by Anya Taylor-Joy, so that he can save his brother from Bowser, played by Jack Black, an evil maniac who wants to marry the princess and take over the kingdom. If you could probably tell by that description, this isn't the deepest story in the world, but I think that kind of fits within the framework of the Mario games. They're very simple games with very simple stories, but they resonate with people because of the world, the characters, and the amount of fun they are to play. And I feel like that makes the movie a more or less faithful translation. I saw this movie twice in theaters, and both times I had fun. It wasn't any groundbreaking piece of cinema, but it was a fun time, and comparing this to the last attempt at a Mario movie, it's night and fucking day. Having Nintendo be heavily involved in this movie ended up being a really smart choice. We've seen examples before and since of developers of various games having a hand in adaptations of their work with mixed results. But this one turned out to be for the best. You can tell the people involved with this wanted to make a faithful Mario movie that was accessible to everyone, but still had a lot of fan service, and I think they succeeded. Now, I'm not exactly an expert on the Mario lore by any means. I grew up playing the new SMB games on the Wii and the DS. I played Mario Kart Double Dash a lot, even though I sucked at it. And as an adult, I started Mario Sunshine, but I haven't gone back to it in a while. So while I don't know every bit of Mario iconography, I did catch a lot of background references, and the ones that I didn't, I could probably have explained to me in one of those Easter egg YouTube videos. But again, the movie isn't just fan service, it's also just generally a fun, easy, visually stimulating movie. Illumination movies have always had solid animation, but they have fallen into the 2010s Pixar DreamWorks trap of a lot of their movies kind of looking the same. And admittedly, the first 15 or so minutes of this movie where they're in New York does feel very Illumination. But when they actually get to the Mushroom Kingdom, that's when things really start to pop. It's bright, it's colorful, they do a lot of fun stuff with the action scenes, and it's just very pleasing to the eye. It's no Spider-Verse, but it doesn't need to be. Probably the biggest head scratcher when this movie was announced was the casting. It seemed like they chose the last people you'd ever expect to play these roles, but for the most part, they actually turned out alright. Jack Black is easily the highlight. He is hamming it up like a motherfucker. He brings all of his cartoon energy to this character, but he also makes for a fun villain. Bitches! Bitches! Chris Pratt was not nearly as distracting as I thought he would be as Mario, although he is basically just Emmett with a heavy Brooklyn accent, but you get used to it as the movie goes on. Charlie Day as Luigi was surprisingly good. He played up some of the scaredy cat energy very well. A lot of the cast was kind of just playing themselves. It will never not be funny hearing Seth Rogen's laugh come out of Donkey Kong. The only real weak link was Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong. Thankfully, he isn't in the movie very long because his voice was kind of grating. Like I said at the start, the story is very simple, which I know a lot of people took issue with. And I understand some viewers might be looking for a bit more substance or development, but I think what we got was perfectly fine and serviceable. And it's not like there weren't any arcs or character development in the movie. I honestly thought Peach's backstory of her getting raised by the Toads was made up for the movie, but apparently that's the case in some of the modern games as well. And Mario does go through the standard hero's journey, and him and Luigi are trying to be accepted. Yeah, it's a bit cliche, but again, it works for what's required. That being said, said, not everything about the movie works. Upon rewatches, I didn't really like that Mario and Luigi spend a majority of the movie separated. I get that the whole point of the story is that Mario has to rescue him, but it was sad seeing Luigi get the shaft, and I like him and Mario's dynamic. Also, I know this has been echoed in other reviews, and I completely agree with it. The use of licensed songs felt really unnecessary. Honestly, the actual score of the movie is really good, and how it uses different cues from the actual game. So it just felt really out of place suddenly having Beastie Boys and AC/DC kick in. I genuinely was trying to figure out if there was any correlation between the year each song was released and the year the games were released, but no, the earliest licensed song in the lineup was Mr. Blue Sky by ELO, which came out in '77, and the first Mario game came out in 1985. I honestly don't know why they're there other than putting classic rock songs in movies is popular now. It didn't ruin the movie, it was just unnecessary. Ultimately, like I mentioned earlier, this is a very easy watch. It's a good background movie. In fact, when I rewatched it for this video, I was putting together some Lego stuff at the same time, and I was able to easily digest it just fine. It's by no means perfect. I think the aftermath of people being angry at critics for not liking it as much was a bit much. Like, Grace's video was hilarious and her takes were insane, but at the same time, people are allowed to have different preferences when it comes to movies, and not everyone is gonna like the same thing. And the movie isn't a masterpiece, but it's a fun time. It's definitely on the higher end of the video game movie quality spectrum. It was very visually interesting, it had some decent laughs, the cast did solidly. It's a good time, and I'm excited to see what they do with the Mario Galaxy movie. So going to my ranking, I'd give the Super Mario Bros. Movie a 3.5 out of 5. And that does it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments, did you like the Super Mario Bros. Movie when you saw it? How does it hold up after all this time? And are you looking forward to the Mario Galaxy movie? Let me know all that stuff down below. I've got more videos coming real soon, but until then, be sure to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell so you can stay updated when I'm posting. Follow me on all my social media, subscribe to my main channel. Everything you need to know will be in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you later.
Oh, we're the Mario Brothers, and plumbing's a game. We're not like the others who get all the fame. When your sink is in trouble, you could call us on the double. We're faster than the others, you'll be hooked on the brothers.